Hey everyone, I want to apologize because I completely missed a pretty big typo for the 16th of February, which was actually supposed to be the 17th. And it should have read Wednesday, February 17th. I had arrangements for yesterday, so when I did notice that I had completely messed up the date, it was really too late and everyone was like, "What's up?" And I couldn't jump on. So I'm Beth. I am volunteering on behalf of my mother, Linda Pelletier. Um, I live in Lewiston, full disclaimer, so there's a lot of things for this road association that I can't do. I can facilitate networking between the neighbors in the 1 through 18 lots now, not 17, 1 through 18. And I can assist anyone with clerical services if they want to start networking on the road and getting a road association. And really with the road association, it's structured a special way so that you don't get what we've had in the last several years, which was very informal. And it was a lot of he said, she said, a lot of gossip and word of mouth. And I think that has really led to the point where everyone's at now. So I want to first off welcome everyone because you all have not been here since 2008. My mom has only been there since 2013. So I know that there is a history before 2013. I don't really know what that was. I don't know how this loosely formed road association got to where it is. All I know is that when my mom purchased in 2013, she thought there was a road association. There was one meeting informally in front of her house, and some people attended. And I know Glen Dube was there, and I don't really know what happened from there, because from there has never been any formal billing practice. There's never been any formal notification practices. There's never been anything formal to do with Aiden Drive. And I don't believe there is on the other roads either, because it's not just you in this situation. There's other people that live on Glen Dube private roads in Sabattus, and he keeps developing these subdivisions, and Sabattus Town keeps saying, yes, go ahead, and taking your tax money, but they're not going to service your roads. So personally, I would have a bit of a problem with that, but I don't live there and I'm not a taxpayer in Sabattus. I do know that this is not a formal road association meeting because I don't live there. I didn't go in front of a notary with a letter for every single person on the road, have it signed, and then distributed. I have to give, or whoever decides to be the commissioner has to give a 30-day notice in writing. So some people were like, well, why was the Zoom meeting scheduled so far out? We need it now. And that's true. If I could have done it immediately and notified people on the spot, I would have done so. But the law requires notification. And the only way that I could really network with everyone was to go and individually hand out these letters in the middle of a pandemic. And honestly, like right now, I can't even get up Aiden Drive, and I don't think my mother can safely get down. So unless my husband goes up and down and gets her or brings something to her, we're not getting in and out. So I'm not going to crash my car into the ledge and have my insurance company reject, my claim because I was on a private road. And I know that can happen from experience, from a job I used to do. I accidentally ventured onto a private road. I didn't know it was private, and no one would come and get me because it was a private road and I wasn't hurt. So yeah, after that, I never went on that road again. I assumed that it was public because all the mailboxes were at people's houses. And I learned my lesson about private roads. But at the same time, my mom lives on Aiden Drive. And to be honest with you, we told her, you need to sell, get rid of it. But it's unfortunate for her because her entire retirement is structured around her real estate, her property. Like, she built her retirement. She planned for the future. She just didn't plan for Aiden Drive. And I know that that was one of the first things that she asked. I think his name was Bill Turner, the one that sold her and developed her lot, was making sure that there was a road association. Oh, yes, Linda. Yeah. No, there isn't. Surprise. There isn't. And what does not really function as one is a very informal word of mouth. And that's when you get what we have here. So what we know is, one, there is a maintenance plan that was presented to the town of Sabattus. It is the map that is filed on Androscoggin deeds, or for Androscoggin County. And I think I have it here. This one, right up at the top here, is the road plan. So it's incredibly small when it's printed out. And when you do have the PDF of it that you download from androscoggindeeds.com, and I can send it to whoever needs it. But if you zoom in here, you're going to get the language that you can go by. This is binding. This is gospel. The road maintenance plan with Allen grass is obsolete. And there was one, however, I do not see it passing with my mom's deed. I don't know if that's because Main Source developed her lot. I don't know. But either way, it's obsolete. You can't take the Allen Grass road maintenance plan and try to get money for the Ameses. That's not going to happen. So, and I'll update you about the Ameses in a bit. But so first, this is gospel because the Allen Grass is obsolete. So unless Allen Grass decides to actually do the road maintenance in that contract, then it would make it new again. Basically, for every contractor or road crew that was hired to take care of Aiden Drive, there should have been a new contract that updated every time, and that didn't happen. There's only one from 2008, and it's so obsolete. You can't use it to go to court to get money for, say, the Ameses. It's not. They're going to toss that out because you don't have a current and formal present day contract. So also right here on the side, when you zoom in, there's also more language that references the road plan. But this is what he presented to the town of Sabattus. And I don't know if you can see this, but this is where lot 18 is now. And what I believe was supposed to be approval by the, what was it? Department of Environmental Protection, because it's a runoff from Curtis Bog. So it runs downhill, and I don't know where their well and septic is, but that should probably be on the map. And no offense, lot 18, you're there, you're welcome. And you rent from Glen Dube, so he has to maintain that road, especially for you. But why this does come up is because you have a 1/17 share. You have to pay 1/17. You're not paying for the lots after you. You're not paying for the lots before you. You're paying for your 1/17. Only now it's 1/18. Now, with the formal road association, you can vote to reduce your costs from 1/17 to 1/18. And you can do that. You need a commissioner. So someone that is going to say, I would like to lead this neighborhood, and people can vote. If more than one person wants to do it, you have to vote. And each lot gets a vote. I think it's one, but you can raise it to 2 votes per lot with another road association vote and approval. So that's how they're structured. They're structured so everyone, it has to be open meetings. That's why I did the Zoom, because it's open. I can invite people. Also, after the Zoom meeting, it gets uploaded to YouTube. And that's another way of, hopefully fulfilling this open meeting requirement, especially during a pandemic, because to be honest with you, my mom's been sick. We've been sick. And although the COVID test came out negative, you know, we've just been sort of staying home and not really going near anyone. So yeah, it's kind of a precarious situation, I realize. And so if you are one of the lots that newly purchased, welcome. And you shouldn't be, you know, tied to the previous owners that either said, I'm not paying, that's not my bill, which I do know was stated. I do know that there's one in particular that thinks they don't need to pay for the lots after them because, or wherever, they just have to plow to their driveway, which that is a very antiquated and probably not anything that's going to hold up, because you only are paying your 1%, 1/17th or 1/18th share of the contract. But here's the deal. You have to get a contract in writing. You have to get the amount. You have to show everyone what their percentage is in writing. That's right here. So there's a lot of good stuff that we have found, and, you know, a lot of missed opportunities, like when Ray Poirier was contracted. If Glen Dube Excavation had replaced the Allen Grass, you know, contract with Ray Poirier, and everyone had paid, you guys would be golden. No one would be in this situation. And personally, I think that's the only time that the road was ever maintained, was when Ray Poirier did it. So I would go with Ray Poirier. And it would be so easy peasy if Glen Dube Excavation just updated that contract. Hint, hint, just update the contract to Ray Poirier, but someone that's obviously insured and bonded. You don't want to be going out there with personal equipment, or, I mean, you don't want to damage the road because you're going to be liable for it. You guys have an easement to the road. You don't want to hire someone that could do damage and then have Glen Dube Excavation come back at you and say, well, now you have to replace the pavement, because you would have to replace the pavement. You don't want to be calling, say, Grubhub or DoorDash or Uber Eats and having someone deliver to your house, because guess what? Their insurance company is probably going to deny that claim. You're probably going to end up with a personal injury suit. And it's just a lot of really, really messy legal stuff. And enter disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer, but I think you all should get one, at least to see how you can. I don't think that you need a lawyer to form a roadside association. You do that with a letter by calling a meeting, and anyone can really do that. But you do probably need a lawyer as far as enforcement and making sure that you do have the right contracts. Every single lot has to be notified in writing. And I would really, really recommend that when you're getting it in writing. I mean, here's one of the things that, you know, sort of crept up, is that people, Michelle Ames specifically said, well, everyone knows they owe, right? But they don't know how much they owe. So let's say they don't like lot, I don't know, 13. And they tell lot 13, you owe us $2,000. And they tell everyone else, give us $300. That's what you want to avoid. That's why they're structured the way they are. That's why you have everything written down and everyone is notified in writing, and you don't get any of this ambiguity. And that's what it is. It's very ambiguous, and it's very informal, and it's very like, I understand because I'm from a small town, so I get the whole like word of mouth, verbal agreements, barter and trade. But here's the reality, is that Glen Dube Excavation went before the town, before the board, before the county, and said, I'm going to do this. This is my plan. Because they have to present a plan for the road. And he put a contract with Allen Grass and said, this is binding. And anyone doesn't pay it, anyone disputes this, you're going to pay for your legal fees, which is also up here. So any dispute of this, the defeated party pays the legal fees. So that's another reason why you want to get a lawyer probably involved, is because after this was all set in stone and they gave him the agreement, he went, that's what he did. And now whenever anyone asks him about it, I don't know if he really doesn't know that he has to have a new contract, but you can't litigate the 2008 contract with Alan Grass anymore. It's obsolete. So what his story is, and he's sticking to it, is, you know, I put everything in place that needed to be in place. Nobody wanted to pay. We decided not to do any of the billing. It was too hard. And this is also the same thing that Michelle Ames has echoed, and said, no, we billed 1 year and no one paid, and oh well. So we stopped, but you all owe me money and I don't have a bill for any of you. That's literally what was said. We don't have bills. We can't tell you what the amount was. We did bill 1 year. I'm not telling you who we billed because we have no names, no nothing. And, but you all are notorious for not paying. You all are, what, the majority is 80% don't pay. And honestly, if 100% weren't billed, then you don't have a statistic of 80% didn't pay. And I know that was one of the things that was spit out there. And that's just not how it works. So the reason for this, you guys, is I'm just trying to get you all networking, to get you on the same page, to get you all communicating, and call Glen Dube Excavation. Try to get him to update the contract. He is not talking to anyone. He's not even, like, getting the information for this was like pulling teeth. And it shouldn't be. It should be information that, here you go, here you go. You have to produce information. You have to produce paperwork. I've asked for Michelle Ames to give us a bill for this year. Nothing. I've asked for the actual amount, because all I got was like, well, it was roughly $3,000. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, I know that sanding is costly, but how many times did you all see the road sanded except for a couple weeks ago? A couple weeks ago, my mom told me, I don't think I can leave. You know, the hill is glare ice, and it was glare ice all the way down to Marsh. And my husband looked at it, because of course my husband's the one that has to go up if, you know, if she can't get in or out. And we were like, what in the world is going on with this road? I mean, and I know that people crashed because it was glare ice all the way down to Marsh. And my husband ended up contacting Glen Dube Excavation. And it was very, like, scripted, 2 responses. And it's basically just information that he passes on and tells people, oh, I did everything right. I did everything right. And they repeat what he says as though it's gospel. And the truth is you may have done everything right in 2008, but it doesn't confront 2021. It just doesn't. It can't be enforced anymore. You need a new contract. A commissioner, if there was a commissioner that wanted to step up on the road, because right now, you know who that is? It's Glen Dube Excavation. He chose not to make this a formal association. He had all the power. He has all the power to do it still, and he just defers and doesn't want to do it because it's too much work. So, honestly, I hope that someone can step up, because I can help as far as, you know, I created a YouTube channel so everyone is notified. There's a email address. Dan Mason actually stepped up. He's number 12 and created a Aiden Drive neighborhood Discord group for people to join and network, which is fantastic. But on the same note, without a commissioner, there are certain legal liabilities that would cover a commissioner in the pursuit of contracting a new driver, a new plow company, collecting monies. You can't collect monies without a contract. That's just you can't, especially if you're not notifying everyone. It's just not going to happen. So in order for people not to eat and foot a bill all on their lonesome, or, you know, 100% of it, something that is tangible and enforceable, there needs to be a contract. So that's really where it stands. There is an old one. If it didn't come with your deed, then let me know and I'll send it to you if you need a copy of it. I know it did not transfer with my mom's. It's not on Androscoggin County with her deed information. So I don't know why exactly. Like I said, I assume it's because Main Source, the Turner, Bill Turner actually developed hers. But either way, as those contracts would have updated, it would have renewed and passed on with the deed through every purchase, because some of these lots have turned over more than once. So that's pretty much all I have right now. If you want to join the Discord group that Dan Mason created, then let me know. I will send you the link. This is for Aiden Drive neighborhood. I know that there may possibly be people that catch this that live in Sabattus and maybe live on one of his Glen Dube Excavation's other private roads. And I know that there are other people like you all out there with the same problems every winter. And maybe that's something that you can all connect and maybe join forces and seek legal counsel. That would probably be in everyone's best interest. But I did actually find one other thing, and that was Sabattus, Maine has a subdivision ordinance. And I would say, where I threw that paper, it's over there. So basically what Glen Dube submitted to the town of Sabattus and what he proposed as his plan for the road, and his plan for how many lots would be there and getting permission from the town and the Department of Environmental Protection in order to ever develop more land. You know, the town really needs to enforce their subdivision ordinance. It does seem to have teeth, but at this point, it looks like Sabattus is just going to keep letting him subdivide. This is not new. One of my best friends grew up on one of Glen Dube's roads, and her mother actually took care of it most of her life. Yeah, because Glen Dube never did. And, you know, a lot of people know that this is how he rolls. And the town of Sabattus they love to collect the property taxes. Glen Dube loves to buy and sell and make money, and then, you know, defer any responsibility for what he proposed he was going to do in the beginning. So I do think it's probably best that there is sort of a meeting of minds, and you all can meet and possibly seek legal counsel to find the best avenues moving forward as far as enforcement. But right now, you need a road association. And in order to form a road association, you have to follow you know, the structure of one. There's, I think, 3 ways that you can form them in Maine. And one of them is a nonprofit, which sounds super complicated, and informal, which is what you have now, which is clearly not working. And then you have, you know, a formal road association where you have commissioner and you have board members, and each lot has a vote. And personally, I mean, to me, that just sounds like the way to go. So everyone's on the same page, and you all are on, you know, in the same boat. You're on a private road. If there's an emergency, you need to have some kind of networking. And last night was really like, you know, a testament to why we need to all have each other's contact information so we can keep everybody in on the loop after my typo. And, you know, it's hard because some people have a P.O. box and some people receive mail down the hill on Marsh, if they get it and the plow doesn't take out their, you know, their mailboxes again this storm. But, you know, that's really how things have to be for now. And I don't think, I have no idea how you would get the road to go public. I know the town manager said something about collecting signatures. So you could do that. I don't believe that the part of repairs that you are do have a fee in. It covers the going public. I don't know what would be needed in order to do that. I don't know if it's surveyed. I don't know if it costs money. No clue. But that's, again, another reason why you should seek counsel and see where you're at. So again, my name is Beth. I'm just volunteering for my mom. My mom is retired. She likes it that way. She just wants her bill and wants to pay it. She doesn't mind being a voting member, but, you know, she's retired and she likes it that way. She would like to see everyone networking and being able to communicate as to what's going on with the road or what's needed or whatnot, without it being so difficult. And honestly, I don't want to see my mom have to sell her lot and her property, because it's, you know, she's really invested a lot of time and energy and, you know, everything into her property to over Glen Dube Excavation just refusing to take care of a road. So, you know, reach out to me, comment below, and hopefully we can move forward with a positive solution.